Nobody in recent years has faced more bullets and more violence than President Trump. This political violence stems from a systemic demonization of him and his supporters by commentators, yes, by elected members of the Democrat Party, and even some in the media. Those who constantly falsely label and slander the president as a fascist, as a threat to democracy, and compare him to Hitler to score political points are fueling this kind of violence. The left-wing cult of hatred against the president and all of those who support him and work for him has gotten multiple people hurt and killed, and it almost did so again this weekend.
What's going on, YouTube fam? You're back in the building with your boy Lamont Tyson, bringing to you politics of being black and what is going on in the world of politics. You just saw one of the biggest liars to ever step their face in front of a camera, Caroline Triple K Levitt, who we won't be seeing for a little while because she's about to have her baby. You know what? Maybe she'll decide to really completely stay a trad wife and stay home. This video is about my homegirl, Katie Phang, how she's taking on the establishment, a real journalist, a smart journalist, one who, dare I say, Katie, you are too modest to ever say this. You're smart and you fine, and you know MAGA hates you because they all want to get up your skirt, but they don't have enough brain cells to even look in your direction. And I know you would never admit that. She has taken up a case against the DOJ to support and help the Epstein survivors. And you're going to see her discuss that. And later in this video, we got one of the biggest people who love to stay on their knees blowing MAGA that really hurts us in the black community. Sage Steele, along with others, have been echoing that bull jive Caroline KKK was saying about how it's the Democrats causing all this rhetoric. We're going to dive into all of it right now, but please be sure to subscribe to the channel. If you trade stocks or you ever thought about trading stocks, come follow me each and every day live at 9:30. You can watch me trade, and if you want to get in on my trading system, there's a link in the description. You can book a one-on-one with me at calendly.com. Let's first take a look at the homegirl, real true journalist, Katie Phang, and what she had to say about these Epstein's files.
So I did a thing, hot off the presses, just filed in federal court in Washington, D.C. I'm suing Todd Blanche as the acting attorney general of the United States of America. I endeavor to not only bring knowledge, because as you know, I say knowledge is power, but I also endeavor to seek justice in ways that I can. And in one of those ways, it's me bringing good faith litigation against a Department of Justice that is violating the law on the daily, and that is actively seeking to hide the truth from the American people about the greatest, most egregious criminal conspiracy in the trafficking of children that has existed in the history of America. And despite there being a federal law that has mandated and required transparency, this Trump regime, in concert with the Trump Department of Justice, repeatedly violates the law, and I'm over it. So I've sued. I am looking forward to the battle. I speak often about fighting in the court of law and fighting in the court of public opinion, and I believe truly that we have to do both. And in this instance, I'm putting my money where my mouth is. So Todd Blanche, consider yourself served.
So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. I adore Katie Phang. She's fearless. She doesn't give a damn what the status quo says. She is here to help support and do the best she can to protect victims. She is a journalist, and a lot of real journalists lost their jobs because of the capitulation by the networks to this MAGA red pill bull jive. And this trying to spin the narrative that you just saw Triple K doing is because the folks sitting at the top of these networks that have fired or decided to cut loose contracts of people like Katie Phang, real journalists, such as her, such as Jim Acosta, such as Don Lemon. All they're doing, folks, is worrying about the money and trying to cover the ass of these men who are in powerful positions who probably run these networks. And I think Katie Phang feels like I do and knows that a lot of why these networks have gone MAGA red pill is because those executives is in these damn files. and Todd Blanche not want to release the files, I would say shame on him and those like that, but there ain't no shame here. They know what the hell they're doing, and they want to get this shit stayed covered up. But Katie is one of many in this fight that want to see justice for the survivors, that wants to see these powerful men taken down, going to jail, locked up for a long time, and we need to have some real deal reform around these quote-unquote white-collar crimes versus street crimes. Because when you do figure out who these MFers is, and we will, ladies and gentlemen, we've got too many great people like Katie Phang on the case. We're going to figure it out. Their asses need to be in jail forever. I don't give a damn if it's the CEO of Apple. I don't give a damn if it's the CEO of Walmart. Y'all always tell us capitalism is a process by which competition steps in when somebody else has failed. So let all their asses fail. Lock them the fuck up. Keep doing your thing, Katie. You got an admirer and a friend over here on this channel. Now we go to Black MAGA, ladies and gentlemen. And this involves the shooting over the weekend. There's been just a major fallout from places like Fox News about how Democrats are stoking up rhetoric. How comedians and others keep right on talking about death and all this. And I've tried to tell Larry, one of my buddies that I do this show with, that you have a lot of people who are so deep in the Fox News bubble that they don't realize they're wrong because, number one, they've been beaten in the head with religion. And then number two, they're beaten in the head with Fox News. And if you never get a chance to go outside that bubble, oftentimes you don't really realize that your mindset is wrong. And then when you do first encounter that your mindset is wrong, psychology says you fight it. And so here we have someone who knows they're wrong in Sage Steele, trying to pretend like it's Democrats causing this issue and wants the new CEO of Disney to change the rhetoric. Take a look at this bullshit. I mean, her nose is so brown it's turning black from being up Republicans' asses. Here we go.
Sage Steele is the host of the Sage Steele Show. We used to work for ABC, Disney. Do you think they're going to do anything?
I would say it would shock me if they did based on history. I will say this, yes, almost 17 years, Jesse, working for the Walt Disney Company at ESPN, and they have a history of punishing free speech, but it depends on what the narrative is. For me, it was as simple as saying that I'm against the company mandating you to take a vaccine in order to keep your job while complying. Pulled me off the air, suspended me, took assignments, punishing me for just saying that while complying. Then you have Jimmy Kimmel, who not only mocks the death of Charlie Kirk, but continuously with the hateful rhetoric and now crossing the line, I believe, with what he said about Melania and Donald Trump the other day. So here's the thing. Will they? Who knows? Should they? Absolutely. Bob Iger is no longer the CEO of the Walt Disney Company. We know where he stood with his narratives. It was far, far, far left. Josh D'Amaro is the new CEO of the Walt Disney Company. He's been there for about 6 weeks. He has an opportunity now to reset, to say, you know what? Enough is enough. We as a network are not going to contribute to this hateful rhetoric, and he can drop the hammer now. Iger did it after Charlie Kirk, only after what? After affiliates came to him and threatened, basically. That's the only reason why Iger did it, and Jimmy was right back on the air. If you're Josh D'Amaro, this is your chance, not just to send a message to Jimmy Kimmel, but to all of the other talent, to the executives, and most importantly, to the American people to say, we are better than this. That was not a joke. It was much worse than that. Everybody knows it. It is time, and I hope the new CEO does it the right way.
Why do you think Kimmel keeps making jokes about assassinating Trump? I mean, he can joke about whatever he wants. There's a lot of material. But, you know, and about death, like of people getting shot or almost shot with Charlie. Like, why does he keep going there? Like, what do you think that's about? It's obviously not humor because it's like not even that funny.
Right. My kids constantly remind me, Mom, stop. Jokes are supposed to be funny. They need to tell that to Jimmy Kimmel because back in the day, Jesse, he was. I actually remember I was on his show in 2014 when I was still at ESPN, and he was wonderful and he was kind, and certainly we thought differently, but he was different then. Something has taken over with him and many others, and it is dark. I don't want to say evil, but it is as dark as it gets to obsess the way he has over this president. It's one thing to hate him and to disagree with his policies, et cetera. It's another thing to continuously bring up death. Again, ABC, when is enough enough? Disney, you're supposed to be about children and families and promoting positive things. Jimmy Kimmel is the opposite of that. Take a stand. Like, help us recover from this. I'm not going to hold my breath, but wouldn't it be nice to see one network really take a stand for once?
Yeah, that would be interesting to see. And maybe we'll hear something about it tonight. We'll have to tune in after we watch Gutfeld. Sage Steele, good to talk to you. Thank you.
Y'all hear that? This chick is saying that because that she talks to her kids about these problems. Well, folks, can y'all imagine that conversation? She knows good and damn well that the main provocateur of violence is the president she's supporting. And she knows good and damn well why they stay on Fox News talking to Jesse Too Short Waters. The reason they make so much money is because their constituents and their viewers of Fox News are as dumb as a box of soap in the summertime on the sidewalk. They don't get out their bubble. They don't believe in diversity. They don't believe in education. Education has been made to be bad because you need to believe in God and that's it. And they're not taught to critically think. They're taught to just follow what someone tells them. Well, folks, this is what someone is telling Fox News. Here are a few clips of Trump saying just the worst stuff.
But Mr. Trump, you're not a nice person.
We don't need nice.
That's true. But actually, I am. I think I am a nice person.
Rosie O'Donnell's disgusting. I mean, both inside and out. You take a look at her, she's a slob. She talks like a truck driver. We're all a little chubby, but Rosie's just worse than most of us. But it's not the chubbiness. Rosie is a very unattractive person, both inside and out. If I were running The View, I'd fire Rosie. I mean, I'd look her right in that fat, ugly face of hers. I'd say, Rosie, you're fired.
I mean, I'm actually a nice person.
How would intentionally killing innocent civilians set us apart from ISIS?
Mr. Trump, we have to be much tougher. We have to be much stronger than we've been. We have people that know what's going on. You take a look at just the attack in California the other day. There were numerous people, including the mother, that knew what was going on. They saw pipe bombs sitting all over the floor. They saw ammunition all over the place. They knew exactly what was going on. When you had the World Trade Center go, people were put into planes that were friends, family, girlfriends, and they were put into planes and they were sent back, for the most part, to Saudi Arabia. They knew what was going on. They went home and they wanted to watch their boyfriends on television. I would be very, very firm with families. And frankly, that will make people think, because they may not care much about their lives, but they do care, believe it or not, about their families.
President Obama is the least transparent president in the history of this country. And if he gives his passport applications and records, I will give to a charity of his choice, Inner City Children in Chicago, American Cancer Society, AIDS research, anything he wants, a check immediately for $5 million.
I'm asking you now, do you accept that President Obama was born in the United States, is not Muslim?
I really don't know. I mean,
You don't know.
I don't know why he wouldn't release his records.
A few years ago, you led the birther movement. You sent investigators out to Hawaii to find out whether or not Obama, which you said was not born here.
Well,
and it
I
turned
don't
out to
know.
not be true.
Well,
so why
I don't
should they
know.
believe
According to
here?
you, it's not true. I don't know.
He released his birth certificate.
You know, if you believe that, that's fine. I don't care. It's an old subject. Really disappointing. Not really. But it would depend on what was inside the magazine.
If she posed, it would be fine. But if they put her picture
Yeah, but
on,
it depends on what goes inside the magazine.
Well, see, that's her
Inside the
gripe.
magazine.
That's
Right.
this girl's gripe.
And
People
there was
assume
nothing.
there'll be nude photos.
Right, you do assume that with
Misleading.
Playboy.
okay,
But if there weren't, you wouldn't have an issue with it then. If they were using her to...
I don't think Ivanka would do that inside the magazine, although she does have a very nice figure. I've said that if Ivanka weren't my daughter, perhaps I'd be dating her. You know?
Stop it. Oh, it's so weird.
Nobody would be tougher on ISIS than Donald Trump.
I would take away their wealth. I would take away the oil.
But wouldn't you be destroying the wealth of Iraq?
No, let me... There is no Iraq. There is no Iraq.
But you don't think bombing Iraqi oil fields, which are now in the control of ISIS,
Yeah.
but bombing Iraqi oil fields is going to anger huge numbers of people?
I would
throughout
bomb
Iraq?
the hell out of those oil fields. I wouldn't send many troops because you won't need them by the time I got finished. I'd bomb the hell out of the oil fields. I'd then get Exxon. I'd then get these great oil companies to go in. They would rebuild them so fast your head will spin. I like China. I just sold an apartment for $15 million to somebody from China. I love the Saudis. Many are in this building. I would get along with Putin. I've dealt with Russia. When do we beat Mexico at the border? They're laughing at us.
I also happen to call him a lightweight, okay, and I have said that. So I would like to take that back. He's really not that much of a lightweight. And as far as, and I have to say this, he hit my hands. Nobody has ever hit my hands. I've never heard of this one. Look at those hands. Are they small hands? And he referred to my hands. If they're small, something else must be small. I guarantee you there's no problem.
He's not a war hero.
He's a war hero.
He's a war hero.
5.5 years.
He's a war hero because he was captured. I like people that weren't captured, okay? I hate to tell you.
Do you agree with that?
He's a war hero because he was captured, okay?
But yet people like Sage and Stephen A. Damn Smith want to tell everybody to tone down the rhetoric. I say, y'all tone down the rhetoric. I say, y'all get back to facts. And if you tell the facts of who's running their mouth about destroying the country, about killing other people, mass genocide, it's y'all's fucking President Trump. And y'all want to continue to sit there and go on Fox News where you know they have the dumbest audience base on planet Earth, not just in America, on planet Earth, and make it seem like it's the Democrats' fault. Sage, your name should have been Weed, because you are behaving as if you lost some brain cells. Not Sage, Weed, Steele. So folks, let me know what you think. It just bothers me that you got people like her. First they're black and Stephen A. Smith, and then they're caking up for these white folks, carrying the water for them, when the minute if their asses was to get in some trouble, they throw their asses under the bus, and then they want you to believe that the Democrats is the one causing all this violence when you just seen Trump run his fat lip. Post me all your comments down below. Don't forget to like the video, comment, subscribe, get that life gain. Follow me for my stocks. If you want to get a one-on-one with me about how I do my system, the link is in the description. And if you want to follow me for my movie and TV review channel, that link is in the description too. And until that next Sexy as Hell video, your boy is out.
I'm up early for the dealers come out. Everybody is outside till the killers come out. You ain't eating, you just act full. I'm impactful. Dozen funerals in a month. I got that quote. I will give it to niggas in all rap forms. Ignatius out right now on all platforms.